Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. Cheese, off the back of a win, lad.
The curse is over. The curse
It feels like
feels like we played so long ago.
Was,
Thursday.
yeah,
4 days.
yeah.
It feels
Good to get the win though.
Yeah, it was good to get the win. It was pretty. We played very well. I think we let a few tries in at the end. The scoreboard kind of didn't reflect how we played. So yeah, that was good.
Bit of Josh Schuster magic.
Yeah, he loves that thing, eh?
Yeah,
Jeez, he's actually really good at. I've seen him do it twice.
yeah. He can, but he has like 1,000 attempts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All you need is one, though, Jimmy.
All you need is one.
one.
And then you know what? If I just get 2 more of those right in that game, yeah, he was. I think there's some question. I think the coaching staff need a word with him. I think he needs to get into the back row. But anyway, mate, the Roosters get the win.
Yeah.
Nice little prank with Ruben Garrick.
Yeah.
In the warm up.
See, that's the thing. It wasn't really like a prank.
Yeah,
It was
it's not
just
a prank, is
it was just me trying to be a pest. But how was I meant to know that they would be looking at that? I swear now they must have little like, all right, Brandon's going to do something fucking stupid, so let's just keep the camera on him for a little bit.
Well, that's smart, really. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're not going to put the camera on. I don't know.
Who do?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was funny.
Like, you're going to put your camera on like the stars, but then, I mean, like, you know, they're not going to put like a bit of a wait for like, I don't know, Nat Butcher to do something stupid. Like, with all due respect.
What did you say, Nat Butcher?
I don't know. I don't know why I said him.
But you would be correct.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be like, oh God, we're waiting in anticipation for Nat Butcher to like do something a bit stupid. I don't know, maybe he is that way inclined.
Yeah, I guess it was funny at the time, and like he thought it was pretty funny. But
and and I hope that you know Ruben Garrick.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that to someone I don't know. But yeah, it was
for those listeners that don't know.
He had a giggle about it for everyone that didn't see the rest, like the whole thing. So yeah,
So for those listeners that don't know, it's in the warm up.
Yeah, but it was strategic by me. Did you see his goal kicking after that? It was shocking.
That's the type of tricks I'd do at training.
Yeah,
to like teammates, or like, you know, you'd have a kicking competition.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I saw the opportunity. I was, 3 meters away. And it was probably the best pass I've thrown this year. It's pinpoint.
Pinpoint accuracy from Brandon Smith. How good. Yeah, are the Roosters still believing? There's mathematical chance. You need a lot of things to go your way, but how's the mood in the camp? It was a big weekend as well for the Roosters, wasn't it? Celebrating the...
Yeah, they had the Hall of Fame reunion, the 2013 side. It was funny. I got to catch up with our Melbourne head of performance. He was there, Lockie Penfold, the bald prick. Yeah, it was weird. I was watching him walk around the hallways, and I was, mate, you better put your phone camera away and let us, have a look at all our stuff. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Got to speak to a lot of the old Roosters players. Michael Jennings was there.
They were celebrating the 2013 grand final victory as well.
Luke O'Donnell, have you ever run in with him? He's a pretty scary man.
He's a very intimidating, scary human being. Yes, he is.
He grabbed my leg, and after the game, I thought he had a few beers, but he grabbed my leg and he goes, "Smitty, I've never killed anyone, but geez, I'm ready." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, bro?
Yeah, well,
I don't know whether I misinterpreted something or I missed the conversation beforehand. But
if that's out of context, it's like,
I just grabbed him and went, mate, me and you, best mates. I love you.
Yeah. I've always.
But yeah, it was awesome, and just getting that win and being in the changing rooms after, like, it was a whole nother high. So we just got to keep that ball rolling, focused on, I guess, the games and not sort of the opportunity to be in the 8. We need to just focus on what's ahead of us and not too far in front.
One guy that was also a little bit excited after 30 seconds entering the field.
Ooh, sounds like my life.
Nathan Brown.
Third quickest, they reckon. Third quickest send off in history.
Yeah, his stats read no runs for no meters and no tackles. It was
super super consistent stats.
Is that what they're saying? Third quickest send off.
Yeah.
Adrian Morley.
Adrian Morley's number one, but like as far as game time comes, yeah. So well on the podium, Nathan Brown. Well done.
Yeah, a bronze medal.
It hurt though because it.
Yeah, well, the game was pretty.
He got sent off. I went on. I was like, "Fuck, this is going to be the worst stint ever."
Do you reckon it was harsh?
Do I reckon? Yeah, I reckon send off was harsh. I think like definitely deserved bin or something along those lines. Because like the way I think of it is, we went back and had a look of the send off before that. The most, and there was Saifidi.
Yeah, Saifidi in round 2.
And he killed a bloke. Like, he was out cold. Like, looked like he was dead.
Yeah, the fact that...
And that was the only thing you can go off. So
well, the fact that Ben Trebojevic bounces back up, sort of for me, it indicates it was very similar to a couple of the incidents that Valentine Holmes has. Yeah. Or has had in recent week.
Yeah, well, I thought the Valentine Holmes one was worse.
So did I.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into the like whole point of, should it matter if they get knocked out or not? Like, I just feel like it was like it was intent and it was hard, but it wasn't like really maliceful, you know? Like
I get it. He's shut out the line. And I can see what he's trying to do. He's got that wrong. And I think it's thankful.
He almost leaps.
Yeah, I think it's thankful that it was more bicep than shoulder than shoulder or forearm. Yeah. So that he got him with that softer part of of all available things. I'm not saying Nathan Brown's not got big biceps, but I think as well, when you compare that to like the Valentine Home incidences, and there's other incidences as well with those outside backs jamming in. Mike Acero is another one, but those outside backs, they've got longer to pull out, of making that decision. Where in middle forward, the angle is different, and they don't have the same amount of time to react. But I think we do as a game, we make decisions based on the outcome to the person that's on the receiving end of the indiscretion. Yeah. And that was shown in the Warriors game.
I thought that was less worse than both the Val and Nathan Brown one. It was just there was what
happened to Charles Nickel.
Yeah, it's just what happened to him was the bad thing. It was like he's not going in that hard. He's not shot out of the line or anything like that. It's just a kind of like an accidental shoulder to the head.
Well, mate, I think as well in that game there was 3 incidences. There was one, I think it was Randall was on report. Then we had Mo Fodawaker sent off, which I think was a bit of a square up. I don't know, and I'm not going to say it. I think anyway, and then Niokore was sent for 10 minutes.
That was an absolute joke.
Well, it's kind of like that game, marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah.
Like you got 3 incidences. Like, 3 people, which one do you do all those 3 to? Yeah. It's like this will, send off Simbin on report. Like, I think they got the order wrong personally. But breaking news, Niokore, he's actually leaving the game. Because Dana White's new slapping competition, he's seen the footage from that and said, I need to get that man competing for us. The amount of ferocity that he hit David Fafita with. Yeah. Obviously, David Fafita's a big man, so that's why he didn't go down. But he's seen he needs Niokore playing in that slapping competition.
He got Fafita.
The way, you know what? All the talk around consistency with the referees, and I keep saying this, I just like, why can't we even get it in the one incident? Like, Fafita pretty much did the same thing to him.
Yeah.
So either no one gets sin-binned or they both do.
Yeah, it's just the thought. You don't push someone in the face if you're not going to expect something to come back.
It's an open hand to the face and an open hand to the face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could describe Fafita's as a slap, but it's open.
But it's almost instantaneous reply. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like he was slapping him. It was just like It's just is like something that just automatically happened of reflex.
Yeah, look,
But I've heard on all accounts that Murata Niokore can bang, so Fafita might have been lucky.
well, did you see the way he was squaring up to him, like side on with his head? I was like, oh God! I was like, just.
I didn't realise how big Murata was. He was
I
standing.
know. I thought that as well.
Him.
I thought that as well. He's having a great season for the Warriors, by the way.
Aren't they all? Like, can you name someone that's having a bad game for the Warriors?
No. They're playing so well. They got away with that one on the weekend. But back to the sort of consistency stuff, it's like, if we can't even get it in the one incident, what hope do we get? And look, Graham Annesley just must be pulling his hair out. Like, every Monday he's got to go into bat.
I watched some shocking stuff on the weekend, man.
For me, he has got to train his staff up to be better, because I don't understand how so the Dragons no try from, I think Junior Ramon scored. It was Little that had made the break, and Gutherson.
Us Roosters would have loved that para team to lose.
But like, for me, I was like, well, how can you not see that that's a rake? Annesley either needs to train his staff up to be better, or he needs to be in the bunk. He needs to go and sit in the bunker Thursday night, all Friday night, pretty much all day Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon as well. That's the only way, because I actually like listening to Graham Annesley, because he talks a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But and I know he's got more time to think about how he's going to articulate some of his answers, but some of it I just don't get.
Well, the bunkers, don't be in a rush. Take your time if you want and try to figure out the actual outcome. But I thought, even in our game, like, I thought Manly were even hard done by for a little bit by the ref, because, mate, there was 21 inside 10 and ruck infringements in our game.
Well,
and I thought for sure someone's going off here. And
well, you guys got the warning.
We got three.
We
got 3 warnings.
You got the warning. And then Manly Sipley got sent to the bin, didn't he, for offside?
Yeah.
And you look at the penalty.
I don't think it was offside. I think it was like holding down. Yeah, because I think they had like 4 of those exact penalties. But mate, it was. I think Manly might have been hard done by, respectfully.
Oh man,
because our discipline was terrible, and it was a tough game to be a part of, just because it was like. There's almost 30 plus penalty / ruck infringement / inside 10 6 agains. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. Look, I appreciate the referees and the bunker. Sorry, the referees have a hard job.
Yeah.
The bunker, they've got the added benefit of time. They've got the benefit of different angles. But they should get more decisions correct. And I think that, look, I don't want to see this filter down to, the sporting fields of kids and amateur and playing for fun sport, because we do see that. But you got to remember, this is the NRL. These are like, there's a lot on the line. It's the biggest competition in the world. So I think we just need to be better, and there needs to be more situation training for the one. I understand that there's some decisions are difficult to make and it can divide opinion, but there's some that it's like, for example, the strip. I think you've got to be the most diehard Parramatta fan to say that. Oh no, that's a loose carry. It's look. I think there's a solution. It's better training, more awareness for the match officials in the bunker, and get Graham Annesley in there. He seems to speak a lot of sense.
Also, are we allowed to, because the Canberra game, love Canberra, love Sebastian Chris, but when can the bunker rule on a forward pass?
Well, because that was a knock on, because the ball hit the ground.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was wondering about this. Right. Whiten goes into the line, passes the ball forward. Right, if Sebastian Chris catches that on the full, that can't get pulled back. But the ball hit the ground.
Yeah.
So is that not a knock on?
Well, that's very genius.
And then Chris picks it up.
Yeah.
And goes on and scores.
Is that
not a knock on?
That would be, that's a great observation. I guess, yeah. It would be. And
Because if Chris doesn't pick that ball up and it bobbles a little bit, you just say, "Oh, it's a knock on."
Yeah.
I don't know why the bunker couldn't intervene with that. That's a bit of a...
It was horrible. It was bad.
Poor old Tigers. And you know what?
I think and the thing about those two tries were both game defining tries.
Game defining, and they're happening to teams at the lower end of the table. Like, that's not a good thing. And those fans, those coaching staff, those players, they just they feel like they've got to work even harder. It's hard to get results in the NRL.
Yeah, like we're not talking about it if it was a 54 point.
Yeah,
like
but these
blowout.
are game defining.
They both were won by 2 points. Those games.
Yeah, and then also look, as the competition enters its most important stage, we don't want to be sat here in September and going...
I'm sitting there getting angry about it because Para's just above us on that ladder.
Well, it's not the direct reason, but this could cost people their jobs. And, there's other... You'd never, as a coach, focus on that, but there's... plenty of reasons to be unhappy for certain fans. Well, speaking of September, there's a bit of a school of thought that the Premiership race is down to 2, and that's the Penrith Panthers and the Broncos. Reynolds was missing for the Broncos, but they were still too good against the Cowboys. That was a fantastic game to watch. Is that what you're thinking? Obviously, it's difficult.
Obviously, it's not. But like, as far as if you were to pick two teams right now that are going to be they're going to play the GF tomorrow. They're definitely the two teams. I've played them both this year, and they're both way too good. Way too good.
You played the Broncos a couple of weeks ago.
That's what, and
I noticed a change in how the Roosters played, especially the first 20 minutes. Oh, you guys were on. It was at the Gabba. Yeah. You guys were on, and they hung in there, and I was like, "Oh wow!"
Well, that's what I was saying last podcast. Like when I've played against the Broncos for 7 years now, never lost to them.
Yeah,
I was hoping to keep that record alive, but when I played against them, I thought, "Geez, they're a real footy side now. Like that's a real football side." Yeah,
I think if it's today, if we're talking about today, the Broncos and Penrith are, but there's still 4 weeks of the regular season, then finals, many twists and turns to come.
Absolutely.
One of those teams that do have the potential to go on the up is the Melbourne Storm. They were dominated by Penrith on the weekend. I was watching that game very closely. They just absolutely mauled them to death. Their defense is so good, Penrith, and they can win psychologically before they even enter the field. But with Melbourne Storm, they've got a couple of aces up their sleeve, and one of those aces is Ryan Pappenhausen, who made his comeback after over a year on the sidelines. Did you see it?
13 months.
13 months, yeah, wow. Did you see much of his
return?
Yeah,
I watched it. I got a little live stream.
Oh, so you were one of those that crashed the QRL?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. But yeah, I watched it, and then I rang a few of the boys who were at the game as well. Like as far as being off for 13 months, like he didn't skip a beat in the fitness department. He was, and then I thought he was fucking pretty good, eh? But it's just whether they want to throw him in to the deep end now or just keep probably 2 more games up the sleeve. I think they'll probably put him in that 14 role because they're sort of missing that 14 role at the moment.
I think Coach Bellamy spoke after that game against Penrith, and he said Coach looks like he's gone for the year. So maybe put Pappenhausen on the wing, Meany at fullback, swap them around a little bit.
Yeah, that could, I don't know. But yes, also in that game, Justin Olam, love that fella. He absolutely murdered someone. I don't know if we can get the clip in, but he absolutely murdered someone on the weekend.
I've seen that tackle. That's not fair at that level. He shouldn't, obviously he's getting his way back into the Melbourne team.
And it looks so
for whatever
effortless
reason
as well. Like he didn't look like he didn't rush out of the line or anything.
He should not be allowed to play any other level than NRL. Just saying, because that was vicious.
No, it's good to see Pest back.
But I think as well, look, the Broncos and Penrith are riding high now. Seasons can be derailed. I think it's harder for Penrith or to see Penrith derailing, but seasons can get derailed for a number of reasons. But then also there's still, I reckon there's probably 4 or 5 teams that are sitting waiting to hit top gear, and they're going to wait until September. One of those teams being Souths.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, they just got Latrell back, and they were underwhelming on the weekend. But I think they're too good a side to be copping all the criticism.
But I think that's part of their problem, is that they know they're too good.
Yeah, maybe.
And even in that game against the Sharks, 15 minutes to go, it was like splash your water on your face, and it's like, oh right, okay, yeah, we better start playing now. And I was thinking Souths were going to come home, but I don't know how. I don't know if they can leave their run, their runs in games as late as that, and with the season as well. They've got a difficult couple of games coming up. They play the Dragons in Cairns without Tom Burgess, and without Totola. He's still unavailable. Then they come down. They've got another road trip to Newcastle, and then I think they've got the bye, and then they play, the local derby against you guys. Final game.
Wouldn't
of the
it be
season.
absolutely great if it was fight for the top 8 between us two? Oh, the local derby would.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully there's not 7 yellow cards again.
But that's it.
Well, hopefully there is. For the fans.
Mate, well, it's legitimately a tough ask for Souths to make it. I think before the weekend, or a couple of weeks ago, you'd look at this run in, and you'd be like, oh, there's a banker. Cronulla bank, Dragons bank, Newcastle bank, Roosters. Oh yeah, local derby, but bank that. But now, legitimately, all those games get competitive with travelling up to Cairns. The Rabbitohs have been on the road for so long now. Yeah, they come back to Sydney, and when you don't get wins on the road, you've got to work extra hard on that. That connection, that camaraderie between the group, and
we didn't win 5 in a row away from Allianz. So,
but with Souths, they're going big road trips.
Why are they going to Cairns? That country, what's that? I think they'd have a massive fan following in Cairns.
I don't know what I think they go. I think they go every year. But I think this is part of the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Being on, and
congratulations, Matilda.
I think that's all coming in to play. That's why there's a lot of these on the road. They went to Tamworth, I think, and then Newcastle away is Newcastle away. But I think Souths just need to wake up and book their ideas up, and
that's pretty much what Jason Demetriou said.
Well, their completion rate is not NRL standard, and they know that, but they've got to. There's a big concern now because of the cluster of teams that are all fighting for that spot in the 8 that, legitimately, they can miss it. I don't think they will, but, each game now, that added ingredient of pressure, they've got the players to stand up to it, but, frustrating being a South fan at the moment. I
don't want to talk too much shit about them in case...
Oh yeah. Just clip this up.
And Brandon's head gets taken off in round 27.
Mate, Peter V'landys did his first interview since all the CBA dramas, so we're just going to throw to that. Let's have a listen to what Peter V'landys had to say.
The players clearly don't trust the NRL.
No, I disagree with you. I think the players, a lot of them don't actually know the issues. If the players knew that they've got the best conditions and monies in the history of the game, if they knew they're getting a 37.4% increase, if they knew they've gone from 6 weeks to 9 week annual leave, if they know that we've got no intention whatsoever increasing the number of games, I don't think they'd be in a position where they are now.
What if Clint Newton walked into this room now? How long would it take you to sort it out, do you think?
If we couldn't do it in a day, I'd give it away because they're not big issues. They're not, if both parties came in here in good faith, you could settle those issues pretty quickly. Probably a couple of hours, to be quite frank with you.
Couple of hours, eh?
A couple of hours. Why did we get it done then? Couple of hours. It's been nearly a year.
It's been a long time.
Well, more than a year.
It's been a long time. Do you agree with his comments that the players don't realise? Well, I think what he's saying is don't realise just how good this deal is. I think I agree with them. A lot of them don't know what they're fighting for, but again, I would question. I don't think they need to know.
Yeah, well, if it's so good, then why isn't it done? Like that's.
Yeah, I think there's 100 items.
I think we've got our trust in Clint and the team at the RLPA, like that they know what our best interests are, and I think every player trusts that, regardless of if you know the issues or not. And he's been a player; he knows what he's talking about. He knows what's fair, and if they can't get that conversation he's talking about on going soon, like it's going to be tough because I'm going to stick with the RLPA, but I don't want to be missing out on the Dally M's exclusively for Sean Johnson. If we boycott Dally M's and he doesn't get awarded after this season, I would be very upset.
Yeah,
because he's obviously a real contender for it. He probably got the 6 points on the weekend. He played outstanding, but that would really hurt if I saw something like that.
Yeah, that's some of the consequences and that we just don't want to see. I think listening to Peter V'landys speak there, obviously that's clipped up. He makes some great points, but I think it's not about money. I think it's clear. And the very fact that the money has been agreed makes everyone okay.
Yeah,
like there's never going to be industrial action because if you look at the hierarchy of needs, and the hierarchy, the level of importance on the issues. Well, the salary cap is number one, and that's what everybody sweats on. Like any time there's been industrial action before in sports, it's because they can't sort the salary cap out.
Yeah,
not I can't see the players striking over data rights,
no,
or time off. 9 weeks. That's
grouse.
It's almost too much. But anyway,
I think he said the games. Like if the players
extra games,
no extra. Well, why don't you just
put that in writing?
Put that in writing. Just put that in writing. Because that's one of the major issues that we're trying to fight against.
I believe so. So obviously, listening to Clint Newton, he said the NRL want the ability to add 2 extra round games a year. The players want it to be only one without consultation. So just put that in writing.
Just the consultation part. It's just we don't want to be just, I guess, surprised with this extra couple of games, or that could just happen. But I love Peter V'landys, with all due respect. I love him. I love everything he's about. He's an absolute character, and I'm grateful for what he did for me in COVID because he gave me a job. So
what did he give you a job as?
Well, he pretty much got the game going in COVID.
Oh, right. I was thinking and
if he didn't give me a job in COVID, we wouldn't have won the comp. So thank you, Peter.
Yeah. No, look, I admire what he's done for this game as a leader. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's immune from criticism. I think, thinking about that, 9 weeks, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
But what I am delighted at, and I know that Peter's been a part of this, is the fact that the international game now has a calendar.
Yeah.
I was so happy at seeing that announcement about a World Cup coming to these shores. It was supposed to be in France for 2025. It's been moved to 2026 now. That's been confirmed. It's going to be in the Southern Hemisphere, but at least we've got a calendar that we can stick to. Because, mate, you're the same for New Zealand. I'm the same for England. Playing for our country meant everything to us.
Yeah.
Now we've got a plan. There's nothing worse than being well, what do we do? What are we doing
at
at
the
end?
I feel currently. We have no idea when these.
Well, the international calendar has now been announced.
Sweet.
So and that's important for fans as well. I've sat here and spoke to so many people, like Blocker, like Wayne Pearce, like Bradley Clyde.
Yeah.
You know, talk about how much that Australian jersey meant to them. I know what it meant to me playing for England. I know speaking to yourself and a number of others. I spoke with Gary Freeman a couple of weeks ago about, like, you know, he's so passionate about the keep. What a character that guy is, by the way. But like the international game, and I think, you know, we are in a battle with rugby union, and we are in a battle with the AFL. But what do rugby union have? They have the international game. Like, we've got to. Are we ever going to be able to match that? Probably not in our lifetime. But we've got to look to compete.
Yeah.
And put international football on the market, and the fans have got to get behind it as well. And then if you even just look at the impact of an international tournament, we've got the FIFA Women's World Cup here. You've got two random countries playing at midday on a Tuesday,
and it's going
and it's going off.
It's going off.
Like, how good is that?
Yeah.
Like, who cares what, like, whether it's a men's, women's, it's international game.
Yeah.
Is being played here. It was annoying for us actually trying to get in, because our studio is close to Allianz, but even though FIFA don't call it Allianz, Sydney Rectangular Stadium, like, it was close. So it pissed me off because I was trying to get a park because the game kicked off at 12, and I think me and you were recording at 12, so it nearly made me late. But that said, it's the international game.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what the international game can do. It can captivate communities. Like,
Man,
look
the
at
Aussie community at the moment with the Matilda. Like, I'm getting behind them. I don't even watch.
Don't you dare.
I'm getting behind them. I don't watch soccer.
Yeah, only because the Kiwis are shit at footy.
Are they?
Mate,
See, I don't even know.
Mate,
Just the amount of talk that's been going around town of the Matildas and all the highlights you watch is unbelievable.
New Zealand's a small country, isn't it? Not great, not a massive population. But
that's
they are shit at soccer. Like,
Undefeated.
Oh, the All Whites. Yeah.
Undefeated in the World Cup.
Yeah, but obviously,
how's the England women's team? Are they good?
Yeah, they went through on penalties last night. They're European champions.
Penalties, well.
England rare victory on penalties. We're not known for that. So I think
I don't know losing.
I don't know who we playing. I can't remember who we play in the quarters. I think that's just to be determined. But our destiny is Australia in the semis.
Yeah,
and the Yanks are out as well, which makes the competition wide open. But look, that's what the international game can do.
Got us talking about women's FIFA.
Like, look at what Samoa and Tonga have done and managed to achieve in recent years. Like, I'm so happy that's going ahead. So that's a big tick. But back to Peter Volandis, if he can get this deal sorted, let's get it done, and then we can celebrate our heroes, our stars. Which is, you know, the game's about many things, but the players are the stars of the show.
He did say both parties come in good faith, and I think that is exactly what needs to happen.
Well, let's get it done.
Yeah,
it'd be great to see. All right, now it's time for this fans' feelings.
Fan feelings.
Nothing more than.
How do you feel?
Yes, that's right. I feel like a Tooheys or two. Have you tried that new
Platinum.
secret platinum?
I have not.
I'll sort you a couple of cans. We've got a couple here. Pretty good.
Just farted.
Go and wipe your ass. Go and sit down and wipe your
I
ass.
just moved like that and it fell out.
That's not a good sign with a loose bumhole. On that bombshell, Sam Witt. If Penrith played a team full of players picked from every other NRL side, could Penrith still win?
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon if it was to play next week, yeah.
Yeah, they've got that team chemistry.
They've got that. Well, if you look at their starting forward pack, they're all pretty much international players. Then you've got Luke Carey. Luke Carey. Who was I just saying?
Nathan Cleary. Yeah.
Luke Cleary.
Yeah.
Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
International. Edwards, like, should be international. Then you got winger Brian. Like their side's stacked.
They're not that far from being like that team anyway.
Yeah, they're pretty much a makeup. They're pretty much a makeup of every other team.
Even like Spencer Lenu off the bench.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, they might struggle, but yeah, depending on how long this NRL All-Stars team had in preparation.
Like if they're playing next week, yes, I reckon they win. Team
But then
continuity.
I reckon if NRL All-Stars had like 3 or 4 warm-up games, they'd probably just get them, but it'd be close.
Yeah.
It'd be close. It's actually...
They're a hell of a side, everyone.
Yeah. Like what they do defensively on their try line is beyond amazing. Jared Kerwin, James, take away allegiances. Which current NRL side would you like to play for? Well, we spoke about them. Penrith, because they're pretty much nailed. Well, just going. I'd probably let them down though. That'd be the only issue. It's like, fucking hell, lose this. Well, like, do we have to play him? Ivan, really? No.
No, you got that Lindsay Smith build. He's killing it for them.
He is playing well. I'd like to think I've got a bit more, but anyway.
You might have better footwork. Greg Stevens.
The Broncos actually are a pretty exciting team to like. Penrith, a lot of their identity is built on hard work, and I never want to shake that. But I do admire the way the Broncos play with the ball.
Yeah, that's your type of player.
Very like
flashy.
Now as well. Like
lots of support play through the line breaks.
Like especially now, like where the body's at, like working hard and doing wrestling. Bollocks to that. Just let's shift the ball out of trouble, lads, and find Reece Walsh off the end of this. Greg Stevens, should the NRL use the FIFA Women's World Cup as an inspiration to place more focus on international footy? Well, Greg, if you have been listening to this show, which no doubt you have, we have answered that question. Yeah, I don't know if it's about using it as
I think we went real in depth on
as
that.
an inspiration. It's like, it's clear the impact.
We're on the same wavelength, Greg.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get international footy back on the radar of our fans. Let's build it up. It's
perfect opportunity for it being in Australia too.
Yeah, but the fans have got to get there.
Yeah,
you got to go and watch. If attendances are low, if viewing figures are low, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You'll get buy-in from the players. You'll get the world's best, but plus as well, like what FIFA have done so well is market this competition here in Australia and New Zealand. They've marketed it as well. They've generated hype. They've generated interest. Like, I'll level with you.
I almost guarantee if there's a Tonga versus Samoa game in New Zealand, that will be it'll be sold out in seconds.
Yeah,
like
it will be. So, look, it's about marketability. We've got our game stars playing the green and goal. Let's look back at history, bring that history, that nostalgia aspect back. I'm no marketing expert, but that's what we've got. Obviously, the FIFA World Cup is something new and exciting and a once-in-a-lifetime sort of opportunity to witness the Matildas play on home soil. The likelihood of Australia and New Zealand getting a FIFA World Cup again in your lifetime is slim to none. Yeah. Like, it can happen, but it's very unlikely. So people are seizing that opportunity, going to games and to see countries play that they don't even support.
Yeah.
Rugby league can't do that because it's only played in a couple of nations, but we've got what we can tap into is that history and nostalgia.
Yeah.
The green and gold, the Kiwis, Great Britain coming here, England coming here, like that Samoa, the Tonga, like the rivalry. That's what we've got to tap into. That's what we've got to market. That's what's going to make it big and great. And it should be the pinnacle of our sport.
Get Australia versus New Zealand at ANZ Stadium.
Get it sold out.
90,000 people sold out.
Well, that's what it should be.
That would be so great.
Yeah. All right. Great to have you, Cheese. Enjoy the rest of the week. Who's Roosters got this week?
Felice Kafusi.
Oh!
That's all I can think. Fuck him, man. Where is he?
Well, hopefully he
absolutely killed someone last week.
Leave your ribs alone this week. Because I don't want to have to look after you.
No, we got the Dolphins. Fins up, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week, mate.
Thanks, boys.